Okay, here are some updates about our Flexit device, which will read ethanol content and will transfer the measurements to the CAN bus, to the Wi-Fi, to the Bluetooth device, to anything you need. This is a device right now, and this is a sensor. The firmware is ready and working. Here I will showcase some of the functionalities that the device has. I currently have connected the Flexit through OBD, so it can transfer data to our sniffer, so we can check out the readings and everything we need. So here is a temporary graphic user interface for the Flexit. We will later release a Bluetooth app for iOS and for Android. Let's connect to Flexit right now. So the device is here. The sensor is here. We have some ethanol inside here. Okay. Now, it seems that we are connected. Okay, device connected. We have also a USB connection for having some kind of feedback, but we are generally now connecting via BLE. We have over-the-air update capabilities. Now I will read the sensor output via BLE as well. And also I will enable the live plot so you can see actually what's happening. So here we have the output of the sensor. Here is a sensor, and here is a liquid inside. It is a 100% ethanol. So now you see the readings are 0 ethanol, and temperature is set at maximum because it doesn't have anything inside. So you can have an actual temperature. The battery voltage that we have currently connected through sensing from the PCB. And now we have the sensor here, and we slowly give some ethanol to the sensor by turning it left. So now there is some ethanol inside, and now we're starting to get some data. So we have ethanol that is increasing right now. And then temperature will slowly get into, now we have full temperature and correct temperature and 100% ethanol inside. Now there is no fuel inside, it's only ethanol, and it's only a little bit, so you won't see directly everything you need to see when you turn it back. Here is a graph. Now I turn the sensor off, almost. There is no ethanol inside right now, so it doesn't show anything. It's back to the maximum values, 0 ethanol and maximum temperature, whatever it is. So let's turn the ethanol sensor again and see here. So we are starting to get again. So we have 100%. And I will try to have a little bit inside so you can see the values changing around. The temperature, when you don't have enough fuel flowing, is showing bogus values, invalid values. Only when you have the sensor full with fluid, then you can see the actual value. But then you can see also that it's 100% ethanol, so it's not correct if you don't have correct flow inside. So this is normal. And here is the graph also showing. So this is how the sensor is functioning. And now let's move on to configuring several settings of the ethanol sensor. So let's showcase now the settings of the sensor. Here we have some commands. Let's see the possible commands in a moment. There will be much more for configuration, but for now, this is what we need for a basic communication between our device and the CAN bus. We can set the IDs for extended and for standard UDS communication. We can set the CAN bitrate and how fast the messages were going to be transmitted through the CAN bus. We can set the service ID. For example, we have the UDS service 22, but we can change it to the tester present service or whatever else we like. So just keep in mind that this is a temporary graphic user interface configuration tool. Our normal tool will be released later on. So here you can, for example, see that we have everything off for the CAN bus communication, but we can easily write a command that we will open CAN transmission. Let's open the standard one. So we give the command right now to on. So right now we have here our CAN sniffer. There is no traffic at all. The devices are connected through OBD. Normally there is an ECU here, but we don't have it switched on at the moment because it will throw off a lot of CAN messages which we don't need to see. So here we have the command and we send it. Okay, and now the transmission started. As you see, it's transferring the value of the sensor on the payload. It's after the service, it's the 22 service, and then it's a B1, it's a value. But right now, this is 0. So let's see what happens when we start moving the ethanol sensor. And let's see. So the ethanol sensor is here. Wait, scroll, auto scroll. Now we have the values here. Okay. So you see it's 0. Okay, B1 and then 00, which is 0 ethanol content. And then we have the sensor here, and we start moving the ethanol into the sensor. And then slowly you start to get commands. You start to get the payload. So now we have the maximum value on the payload. Which started from 21, but I will play a little bit with the sensor so the values can change. Now we have only ethanol content feedback through the CAN bus, but I will add also the state of the sensor, if it's connected or not. And I will also set to display the temperature of the content, which is needed if you make a patch for the ECU, but it's not something that a lot of users are looking for. However, we will add everything so it can be fully configurable. Here you can see again the values changing. Now we are going to stop by sending the command off. Okay, let's stop it. Okay, now it's stopped. It doesn't display anything else. Cool. Now let's change the UDS service ID. UDS SID to the tester present one. So now it's ready to be set. Okay. And then let's switch on the CAN again, so we can see that the new settings actually take effect. And again, we are opening the standard CAN bus communication. not with the extended ID. So we set on and send. Okay, now we should get. Okay, now as you see, the new service ID is 3E, which is a tester present, and it was previously set to 22, and now it's 3E. So now we changed the service ID through the canvas. So here you can see the full configuration settings on the command output. Here you can see, for example, if you press help, it will display all the commands that you need to know in order to configure this device. So those are the settings currently. We can change, and we have some basic safeties set to the device. Those will also be shown on canvas and on Bluetooth. So if we for some reason have a broken sensor, or if we disconnect the sensor like here, so we remove the plug a little bit. Give me a second. It's stuck. So let's say we have the sensor here and we have the device here. The device has an LED which is currently green. I'm not sure if it's being shown correctly on the camera, but it's there, it's green. So if we try to disconnect the sensor, like, give me a second. If we disconnect the sensor like this, then this will start blinking red. And a lot of error messages will show up also on the status, on the communication. And for example, here you get ethanol sensor disconnected to the USB status, and then you get the same stuff on the canvas and on the Bluetooth application. So it's still disconnected, device knows, and if we try to connect it back, so connected, and then says ethanol sensor connected, and the device shows green. So everything is in order right now.